Welcome to There's a Coach for That TV. From health to wealth, relationships to business, and
Whatever challenge you're facing, there's a coach for that.
Welcome back to another empowering edition of There's a Coach for That TV, the masterclass series. And I'm your host, Raven Blair Glover. I'm so glad you're joining us for this continuation of a conversation that truly resonated with hearts all across the world. If you caught part one, then you know what I'm talking about. And you already had the opportunity to hear as Lisa and I really went deep about her backstory. Lisa Copeland, a dating and love coach who's transforming the way women over 50 approach love and approach confidence and connection. So that's you and that's what you're ready for. This mini series is for you. Lisa and I, in the first part, we talked about how after a 24-year marriage and a second short-lived one, Lisa found herself in tears, confused, in her closet, trying to figure out who she was, and how that pain lit the spark for her purpose. We all been there, right? For sure. She couldn't find a coach who understood women like her. So you know what she did? She became that coach. Yeah. And that's why this series exists, to spotlight transformational leaders like her who are guiding others into clarity, into confidence, and into calling. Because no matter what you're going through, you betcha there's a coach for that. We want to welcome you to the show, Lisa. How are you doing?
Hi, Raven. I am great. How are you?
I am doing amazing. I also want to share with the audience before we get started that you have really impacted thousands through your programs, through your book, The Winning Dating Formula for Women Over 50, and your appearance on major platforms like Dr. Phil and Fox and Modern Prairie. Wow. And today, you guys get ready because you see, she's here, she's happy, I'm here, I'm happy, we're ready to go. And we want you to be here all the way. No multitasking, sit in your favorite chair, get your favorite drink. It's okay. It's dark sometimes, it's nighttime somewhere, so you can drink, or you can have orange juice or whatever, coffee, whatever makes you feel good. But get somewhere comfortable and really lean into the show today. Because we're going to dive deep again. You're not going to want to miss one thing. So, Lisa, what were the first signs that your coaching was working, not just for you, but for the women that you help also?
It actually started before I was a coach, when I was becoming a coach. I didn't know at that time I was becoming a coach. When I went and tried different things. If you heard the first part of this, you will know that I just cried and cried. Never thought I'd be able to date again in my whole life and have a relationship. I was drama queen city. And and what ended up happening was I figured it out. And I gave tips to friends and they were having success. And that's when I knew I was onto something that worked. And I decided to create a business because I didn't want to see another woman suffer the way I did, just sitting there crying. Will he like me? Will he like me? Versus, do I like him?
Yeah, I think we all always say that. Is he going to like me? Is he going to like me? When we do that, I'm glad you mentioned it actually, because I remember myself saying that a lot of times. When we do that, are we setting ourselves up for success or failure in this new relationship?
We're setting ourselves up to, number one, people please, and to forget who we are and what we want. And I think that's the biggest issue, is the people pleasing and giving up our power. We're not honoring ourselves and we're not going out there empowered. one of the best ways that you can feel empowered, I have every client create what's called a Quality Man template. And this is a clear vision of the right man. So where this brings your power into you is because instead of going, well, he like me, you're thinking, okay, does he have what I want? And that is what's really empowering and honoring. And by the way, on a first date, you really don't know if he has what you want. That's why I always tell women, give a nice guy another chance, because everybody's awkward on a first date. Everybody. They're not comfortable. And
I
by
was
the way,
just
a
taking
second
some
date,
notes on that. That is so, I mean, just hearing you talk about it, I just go back to my dating days, and I'm sure everybody has, because it's something, I don't know. For me, I just see myself and I see other friends that I used to hang out with that was single. But to me, we're just different people when we're single and we're trying to get that man. And, versus when we're in a confident relationship. And I believe, I know for me, it was lack of confidence, always feeling insecure, and that was decades ago, well, at least a decade ago. But now there's so much pressure. It's a whole different world, at any age. I mean, they have access to make themselves look however they want to make. And if you don't have those funds, you feel a little insecure. Not that you're hating, you just feel a little insecure. It's a lot harder, isn't it? Or is it?
I think that we feel unworthy of having what we want, truthfully.
Uh,
Most women's, and well, I don't know about men, but women settle because they're afraid they'll never find someone else.
mm,
But when you settle, you're not getting what you want. I'm not saying you're going to get every single thing you want. The most
mm-hmm,
important thing you want is someone that shares your values with you,
mm,
not someone hot or a bad boy,
yeah,
because that's sustaining. But shares your values with you. That's so important. But we don't necessarily feel worthy of having it.
yeah.
That's a big issue. I mean, I am not enough runs as a program in us, and that sets us up for failure because we settle.
Yeah. And again, I want to talk about the confidence of it all. What does it really look like to date confidently? Let's go there after 50. And how do you, Lisa, help your clients build that confidence muscle?
Good question. So I think it involves a few things. Most people think I'm going to go online, put my profile up, they will show up.
Mm-hmm.
But every Tom, Dick, and Harry shows up, not necessarily who you want. And I'm a really big believer in where our energy is who we attract. So if our energy is not in confidence or our energy is not in worthiness, we'll
Mm-hmm.
attract someone to some capacity who feels the same way, who will either criticize us or also criticize themselves. So the first thing I help women get that inner glow back is really looking at limiting beliefs they're holding on to, because there's so many stories we all tell ourselves, like, am I too old? Is there anyone out there? Do men only love younger women? No, they do not.
Mm.
They love women their own age too. Will they like me? All these stories, that we tell ourselves that aren't even true. So a big thing to start with for your confidence is ask yourself, when you're telling yourself there's no good men out there, for example, and then I want you to ask yourself, is that true? I mean, that is a really huge thing, because we tell ourselves stories. Another place that happens is when we look at profiles. And so many women say, oh my God, people lie in their profiles. Some do, but a lot don't. A lot do portray who they are. The problem is we look at their picture, we look at their profile, and we make up a story about them and who we think they are. And then they show up and they don't match our story.
I am so glad you brought that up, because it's the movie that we have going on in our head. And that
Right?
movie, most of the time, I won't say all the time, because us women, we have great instincts. But when it comes to that, based on what you just said, the movie is different. A lot of us, we go in deep. I'm one of those people that did. And when we love, we love. Or when we think we love, we're in it deep. And we are seeing things, every nice thing they say, we're taking it deeper than a lot of men really mean. They may be just a nice guy, that was raised by his mom or women in the household that taught him to be respectful and kind and stuff. And we're taking it, oh my God, he's so crazy about me. Movie in our head, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, we
Yeah.
often let men choose us
Yeah.
versus us having 50% of the choice of him. So 50
Yeah.
there. And that has to do with the people pleasing we do as women.
Mm-hmm.
That is an old caveman thing of being safe. That's in our DNA. And
Mm-hmm.
it's about he chose me, so he'll keep me safe.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. It's why women like tall men. They think they have this perception that if a guy has height, he will keep them safe. He could be an absolute ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And women will ignore that because of the height, because their idea of safety is height. And then the guy's verbally abusing them all the time. It's why I tell women, try to date someone your height or taller. Height is not a safety thing.
Mm. It's not a safety thing. I love what you say on that. Okay, so what's one myth about dating after 50, Linda, that you'd love to help us bust that myth right now?
That you can't find love after 50. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
I've had women in their 50s, 60s, and 70s live with men, get married to men. There's such a myth that men only like younger women. And
Mm.
men will try dating younger women. Why not? The
Yeah.
possibilities are there. We don't do it. Like, well, some women do, but most women feel a little freaked out when a younger man contacts them. They feel like, well, why would they like me? I'm so much older. Whereas men are like, why wouldn't they like me? It's a
Yeah.
whole different, mindset.
Yeah.
So we think, oh, why wouldn't they like me? But the younger men do like older women. They actually really do. Give them a try. Why
Yeah.
not? The thing
Mhm.
about there not being no one that would want you at this age is not true. That there are some men that, yes, they want younger women, but the women they usually attract are either looking for money, someone that has a lot of money and power, or has daddy issues. When
Oh,
when it's a young woman with an older man. But most men try it and they realize, oh my God, what was I thinking? I don't have anything in common with them. It's like you talk about the Beatles and they're talking about whatever new group is out and they don't have common history. So, yes, men our age do like women our age.
mhm.
That's a big myth. They do. They come
Yeah.
back.
Hmm. What are some tips that you usually give your clients for getting from a divorce or just having been dating for a while to getting back in the game?
Hire a coach. Pick a coach. Most women go out there and they start reading a million things by a million people. That actually stops you because you don't know what to do with all that information. And
Mhm.
everybody has their own system. And when you're trying to combine all these different systems that people have created versus a full program, you actually defeat what you're trying to do. And again, the deer in the headlights because you don't know what to do.
Mhm.
But if
Mhm.
you haven't dated in a long time, the biggest thing you want to do is to make sure you're over the last relationship. If you're still crying about it, you don't belong in a new relationship. You're just going to reattract that old relationship with a new person with different hair, different shoes, different job.
Really? Okay. Huh.
That's what we do because it feels familiar and we have to finish the work.
So
So
let
number
go of the
one,
baggage.
yes, we all carry baggage.
Yeah.
As we get older, we're carrying more baggage. When we were young,
Mm-hmm.
we were naive. Now
Mm-hmm.
we carry our own version of wisdom pearls, along with people, jobs, assets. We carry, and a lot of negative thinking at times
Yeah.
versus positive thinking and fears of aging and all of that. So we carry baggage with us. But when you're first starting out, the big thing to do is, first of all, get your confidence in place. Make sure you're over that relationship. 2, get your confidence in place. 3, if you're a woman, learn who men are. They are not women in men's bodies. They don't think like we do. They don't talk like we do. And we emasculate men without realizing it. And then 4, get yourself either online or go out in real life. There's true value to meeting men in real life. Most of us don't do it because we're afraid to approach someone. And again, that's giving up our power when we don't approach someone. But you just start talking to people wherever you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Giving up our power and stripping our confidence, for sure.
We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Ladies, can we talk about dating after 50? Because apparently some men think emotionally available means they own a phone. You go on a date, he talks about his ex. 45 minutes.
She threw away my prized golf clubs. She really broke my heart. But if you change, you let them win, right?
Sir, I am not your therapist.
Or my favorite.
I'm very passionate about my career. I'm not really looking for anything serious.
Then why are you here, Bob? This isn't Costco. You can't just sample women. And let's be honest, you're not desperate, you're not too picky, and you are definitely not invisible.
You just don't want to waste time anymore. You want a kind man, a grown-up man, a quality man.
I'm Lisa Copeland. If you're ready to stop dating projects and start dating partners, visit FindAQualityMan.com, because Bob is not the prize. You are.
Hi, I'm Jamie Boone, on location for FindAQualityMan.com. Today, we're at a speed dating event where singles over 50 are making meaningful connections. Let's go meet a few of the ladies and hear what they have to say.
What brought you to speed dating tonight? I figured it was time to stop waiting and start meeting people.
What's your biggest dating deal breaker?
Poor communication. That's a hard no for me.
What attracts you first? Genuine confidence and a great smile.
Kindness, honesty, and someone who actually follows through. Absolutely.
What's one thing men should know? Be authentic. We can tell when you're not. So true. I'm Jamie Boone for FindAQualityMan.com, dating after 50. Until next time.
I never thought I'd be happy in a relationship without living together, but we're doing that and I love it. We're deeply connected and we both have lives of our own. I'm the happiest I've been in years. Lisa, thank you for showing me that love after 50 doesn't have to follow anyone else's rules.
There's a coach for that. TV.
Welcome back to There's a Coach for That TV. Now back to the show.
Now, if someone really sees someone they like, I mean, this guy is it. I want him. Period. I want him. What should they do? Should they make the first move? Is that okay? Is that a respectable thing to do, or what?
Of course, they can go up and just start talking to them. But already, I really want him. Already, you're vested in someone you don't know. Someone that just looks good to you. That's it.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned earlier, they can be an ass.
It can look good and be an ass. Let's just say it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of times how we start off on the wrong foot, claiming it, I know when I used to go out, I used to hear young ladies in the bathroom, it didn't matter what age, but I heard women in the bathroom claiming people. They were just claiming them. I'll go over there. They were serious. That was back then. I can only imagine how it is now, but we're talking about a more mature set of women. So that might be different or it may not. So I'm glad that you brought up the point of saying, when you say, I want him, you know nothing about him. You haven't even spent any time. You're just looking across from the grocery store, because it doesn't always have to be a club where you meet someone or a gathering or something, and say, I'd like to get to know him. maybe
Much better thing in it.
Yeah.
You hold your power then,
Yeah.
because if you go up to someone, so we're afraid to approach because we're vested in this person that we know nothing about, but we think is so cute or whatever. Already giving our power up. The better thing to do is to come from a mindset of, he's someone new and interesting. I'm just going to go up and say hi and see if he wants to talk. Not, oh, I think I just met the love of my life. How do you even know that? You don't. You just met a guy that has nice looks. Or you're looking at a guy. The other thing that will always save you is if it goes, number one, don't get vested. Again, like I'm just meeting someone new and interesting. The second thing is use this mantra. If they don't talk with you, or if you feel rejected, say they are not rejecting me personally. I may just not fit the picture of who they want. And we do this too. There's men that would come up to us that we would be like, because they don't fit the picture of who we think we want. So the mindset is, I'm just going to meet someone new and interesting. The other cool thing about that is you're going in to really, when you're going in to meet someone new and interesting, it means you need to ask questions that are not these dating resume questions that people fire off. How old are you? Do you have kids? Do you have grandkids? What's your job? What's your car? What's your shoe size?
Point.
It's not new and interesting. It's boring. So just get into conversations, and their childhood's a great way to find out about values. Where'd your family go on vacation? What did you do, in the summer when you weren't in school? Did you always have homework? You find pieces of history. It's why everyone who dates a lot younger comes back. They don't have history in common. So you find pieces of history that you have in common.
Core
like
values.
Games you played, things you did, your first concert. That's the kind of stuff you use to meet someone new and interesting, and or to find out one new thing about someone. That's a much better way to go into, what can I learn? What's one thing I can learn about this person that's interesting? Because people are more relaxed than when you say, what's your job? Well, my job is, it's boring. Everybody.
And they don't want to feel like they're being interviewed.
Right.
They really, even though they know, okay, this is part of the game, you got to come across like you're not interviewing. It's kind of like when we're trying to sell something online as a business owner, everybody knows, okay, somebody's going to try to sell somebody, but you don't want to feel salesy. So it's the same way, right? You don't want to feel like, okay, I'm meeting this person on a blind date, or we're meeting at a restaurant, or happen to meet in a club, at a store, on the street, wherever. You don't want to dive in too hard with the questions. But you brought up a good point. You need to ask questions. So let's paint a scenario for the ladies out there watching this. They see someone they want to meet, and it doesn't matter if the guy comes to them or they go over to the guy. What are some beginning starter questions just to bring them from here to, okay, we're here. Okay. We're strangers, but we want to feel comfortable with each other. Because I think that's the start, feeling comfortable with that person enough to open up. But you don't want to ask too many deep questions, right?
Right. You don't want to talk about anything on a first date that's heavy. So an example of that is, back in the day when I was dating, I had gotten into Reiki. And if you don't know what Reiki is, it's a form of energy healing. And I met this doctor, and he and I were having a conversation, and patients do die, and he would sit with them, and we started talking about this, and I thought, okay, I'm going to show him what Reiki looks like. And I said, but before I do that, I'm going to show him how you can feel people's energy. And so I rubbed my hands together, and then if you do this, by the way, you can feel your energy between your hands. We were supposed to go to dinner afterwards. And he goes, you know what? I'm so sorry I can't go to dinner because I freaked him out. And you don't want to get into heavy, deep topics on a first date.
Yeah.
Don't get into like, I'm in debt, or, oh, my ex is like so difficult. He doesn't pay alimony, and whatever. A guy can't handle that stuff. Men are wired to fix, and they don't know you. They can't fix, so they feel like this is a setup for failure. But So what do you go in and say? Think about when you meet a new friend or you make a new friend. That's how you want to view this versus thinking, is he the love of my life? Is he a friend? Is he someone I like chatting with? This is why
Mm,
I also say nice guys give them another date. Because for us, a guy may not be, Mr. Gorgeous when we meet him, but as we get to know him, he can really grow on us and the chemistry can slowly grow. So I would say there's not specific questions. It's more like just get to know each other, talk about interesting things, stay away from politics, stay
of
away from
course.
religion,
Yeah.
stay away from hot topics. And usually you will know from their profile what their religion is or if they're which party they belong to but just get to know someone. You wouldn't ask a girl, so what do you do if you were meeting a new friend? What do you do? What do you want in life? Stuff like that. I just think it's about get a friendship kind of thing first,
Yeah.
which brings to chemistry, because
Yeah.
everybody thinks it has to be chemistry or the zing in the body. That is not
Makes sense.
sustainable. And the
Mm,
zing can grow for us as women. It's the friendship.
yeah. Well, all of what you said makes sense. So I'm feeling that I want to touch on with you. What should the single women 50 and up be looking for when a guy comes over to them? What should they be looking for to tell them, number one, you're pretty safe, here with this person? And, is it a feeling they're looking for? Is it the guy comes with a horrible one liner, definitely don't want them, and maybe you're tossing someone out that just is not used to dating. They didn't hire a coach, so what are some things that they should be looking for, whether in the way they feel or I don't know.
Um, well, most people with the feel are feeling for the hormones, the chemistry, the
Okay. Well, we
tingling in
know
their
why
body.
I've been married 3 times. Oh, four. Oops. Yep. I should have got a coach a
Oh no,
few
there's nothing
times.
wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. Was you missed the husband there or the fourth husband? You missed one of them. That's why I made that face. Whoops. You forgot someone. It's fine, however many times you've been married. That's okay.
I did forget the one I should have forgot too, but no, the fourth one is the charm. I always tell people skip 3 and go to 4 because that's what it was for me. And I didn't really tap into the feelings. I think told you earlier that I made a list because my sister suggested make a list, draw a line down the paper. On one side, write all the things that you're looking for. On the other side, write the things that you will absolutely not settle for. And then the other thing she told me is take some time for yourself, because I was one of those people that went from one person to another, and everybody I dated, I married. Yeah, yeah. Look at that face. Did you guys see her face? Do that again.
I don't think I can.
Yeah, so I think it would be helpful if you could maybe share some things that us women, not me anymore, but women should be looking for when someone walks over their way or they meet someone from the guy's angle.
When the guy walks over to us. Well, first of all, you want to have a clear vision of who you want. You described some of it. When I work with women, I go even deeper. The really big thing is a guy can have all the qualities you want, but you really need to totally match in values because you live your life from core values.
Yeah.
And qualities are kind of a wish list, which is great, but he could have 100% and you still cannot make that relationship work because your values don't match. And it's hard to make it work. A guy comes over to you, again, no investment in who he is. Have that clear vision. Oh, this is the kind of guy I'm looking for. Maybe he doesn't have a deal breaker, but you're not going to know all this from the second he talks to you. I mean, this is stuff that takes time. So this is why I say just have conversations. If he's nice and he asks you out, say, sure, I'd love to, because it takes time to know someone. You don't know if someone is the right person or the wrong person for a while. You just know that maybe you don't have a tingle. And by the way, when we get that chemistry, we have a tendency to trust people that may not be trustable. We perceive that little tingle in our stomach or, in the girly parts or wherever as he must be the one. All it is your hormones are reacting to a guy. That is it. And it's dangerous to think he's the one from that.
Yeah.
That's what
Danger. Stranger danger.
Yeah.
Stranger.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you can end up moving too fast when that chemistry's hot. I may have told this story the first time we talked, but it was a client who went from beating a dud, who she said she married him. And and forgive me if I told it, but I'll say it just in case, because it's a really good story. She had just moved to where she lived and they went on a date and she said, I'm sorry, you're just not my type. And he went, all right, but how about if I show you around since you don't know anything here and I'll help you get to know this city and we can just be friends. It's why I encourage women, make male friends, because when you're not dating, that's a way to be around male energy. So they started going out once or twice a week and they would go to dinner. She would, they would go to dinner, they would go to stuff. He would show her places. 3 months in, all of a sudden it kicked in and she goes, I'm starting to like this guy. And she thought he was a dud. She found out he was super interesting. He was much cuter than she thought. And they got married a year later. So this is why I say first impressions are not always accurate impressions.
Yeah.
When we were young, we did not go on a date with a guy and think, is he going to be my next husband except for you doing that? Is he going to be my next husband before the coffee's finished?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Since you married every guy you dated.
I did.
It's okay.
Oh my goodness.
Sure.
I just didn't do single a lot. For me, I didn't want to play the game. I will say, early on, before I got into serious dating, one of the things I didn't like was I felt the women were playing games with each other. One would leave their hairpin on the sink so that marking their territory. Another one would leave a hair dryer or something. It'd be different little things like that. And then I found myself leaving stuff. Okay, I'm letting everybody know about that.
And where are you leaving this stuff?
At their place. This is like
the guys
in the date. Yeah, at their house, and you're like, okay, but you never made a commitment that you're the only one or he's the only one. So you both were dating. So I did that for a very short time. And then it felt yucky to me. Okay. It made me very insecure. And like I said, if they left, whatever they left, I was going to leave something bigger. And badder,
Oh.
Okay, y'all. I was bad. Spank my hands.
No, you weren't bad. You just didn't know some things, which by the way, if you're at a guy's house, chances are you're having an intimate relationship with them. So one of the things I do suggest for women is this is also for health and safety. If you want to have sex, great, go for it. Okay. Help yourself, but just be safe about it. Carry condoms with you. If you're serious about a relationship, I do always suggest getting to that place of being exclusive.
Exclusive, yeah.
Because you don't want him with another person the night before and you the next night. That can create serious issues.
Or the same night. Guys are like that. Sorry, guys. You listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Our age group over 50 is the highest behind teenagers for syphilis and other.
Really?
Yes. And other STDs, which they are not called STDs anymore. I think they're called SIDs or something. But that's why you want to be very careful about who you're having sex with. If you go to the exclusive area, you can ask for testing for both of you. But always, like I said, carry condoms. And then I want to give a real quick tip here about how to know if some guy is the one for you. When you're out there dating, and a lot of women start in what I call the big pot. And this has to do with gardening. I had a wonderful coach teach me this. And when you're in the big pot for dating, okay, which is where most women go on a date from. Let me start with this. Are you a gardener at all, Raven?
No.
Okay, well, I'll give you the answers then. So if you have a little plant and you're putting it in a big, humongous pot, what happens is it can't thrive because plants need to put roots down before they grow up, and they need to fill the pot. And you're in a big pot, that plant can't get that pot filled, so it usually dies before then. Most women start in that pot with dating. It's why they fail, because they're trying to figure out if someone is the one before they found out anything else about them. And on that first date, and you just don't know. The place to start is the little pot, because when you put a little plant in a little pot, it thrives.
Okay.
That pot, you're just going to meet new and interesting men and find out something interesting. That's what makes someone interesting, when you take the time to find the interesting thing about them, because men are not talkers like we are. So you might come away from a date going, this was so boring. But on your side, did you ask questions that would make him tell you something interesting? Like, what's the greatest place you ever went on vacation to? Watch what lights him up. All right. You find someone you think you want to be in a relationship with. So you move to the middle pot and you become exclusive. And now I am not saying, like, I think Steve Harvey says, wait 9 months to have sex. I am not saying that at all. And you still have to encourage a guy along the way here. If you're dating 4, 5, 6 dates, you want to be kissing and maybe messing around, but I'm talking full-blown sex where you want to really play it safe. And always talk to your doctor about what that means for you, because they can give you the best information for how to stay safe. Because herpes is another huge issue, and you need to make some decisions about whether you feel okay dating someone with herpes. So your doctor can guide you, with that.
That's important stuff. I'm so glad you went there, because, I mean, all jokes aside, our health, and that's loving ourselves, our temples. These are our temples, ladies, so love ourselves, enjoy life, but think of you first, because God may not be thinking about you. So you have to put yourself first, have them take whatever test, sign in whatever papers, protect yourself.
In the middle pot, you're exclusive and you see if the relationship works. By the way, this is how you can be successful at dating with this theory. You're in the middle pot, you're exclusive. It doesn't work out, you go back to the small pot. If it works, you're going into the big pot, and the big pot is the commitment pot, where you're going to be in a long-term committed relationship. So you can see why women fail at dating, because they're starting in the commitment pot on a first date. And you cannot possibly figure out if this is a commitment-worthy guy on a first date.
That's true. Or the second or the third.
Right? Takes time.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Not too much time, but take your time.
That's called the pot theory.
Okay. Don't listen to me. I am not a dating coach.
Not this kind of pot, the smoking one. It is the pot theory of how a relationship can build and thrive.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So
trauma.
Yes, trauma. If you've experienced a lot of trauma in your life as a child, teenager, young adult, or whatever, how can you enter into a relationship without having something, a deep scar like that? Do you tell this person? Because what I've found, myself and other people I've talked to, sometimes we tell them, and in the first argument, they bring it back on. So do you know what I'm saying? Something, or people bring it back. Have you ever experienced that with any of your clients? They say something because they feel like, I think we feel like we're part of the bonding moment, but sometimes it can be a little bit too much. So
Now,
I'm
here's
just
the
curious.
interesting thing about how we choose people, and it has to do
Mhm.
with baggage.
Mhm.
So we usually date someone from family of origin in a different body that we didn't
Really?
work out with them. And
Mm.
that's our biggest baggage. So I had a mom who had been abandoned by you know, circumstances back in the days,
Mhm.
like the depression and all that.
Mhm.
And so she had been abandoned. And then while I was growing up, she got very sick. And most of my childhood, she was healing and not able to be a full parent. So what happened? I was abandoned. My sister and I were abandoned. Not
Mhm.
intentionally. She was just,
Right.
but who did I attract to work those issues out? I attracted men that had been
So
abandoned.
true. So true.
And one
Mhm.
of the biggest things I do when I first start working with women on that clear vision of the right man is we create a pattern chart. And it's
Mhm.
a really deep dive into why you chose the men you chose so that
Mhm.
you can, sometimes by recognition, you can heal it. Sometimes you need a therapist, sometimes you need a healer, but you've got to be able to see it. And women say, oh my God, this is so crystal clear now. I see why I chose this one. I chose that one. It's usually a similar theme. It's often abandonment. And what happened to me is because they were abandoned and because I was abandoned, I became an overgiver because I was giving to get love back, you know, because my mom was so sick, she just couldn't provide it. It's not a
Mhm.
judgment of her, it's just what happened. But I would choose men that were wounded birds, and I ended up taking care of them because
Mhm.
I thought the only way I could be loved was by taking care of them, which actually did not give them the space to love me back because I took care of everything. So that's what you want to look at. What were your childhood issues? I can always tell there's a lot of people are parents that were not emotionally available there, parents that were physically not there, parents that told them that they were not pretty, parents that criticized them, and they had chosen critical men after that.
Mhm.
You know, there's definite themes that happen. So you have to be able to identify it. And if it's, I have them create an old type. This is the person they go back after. And then I have them go into a much deeper dive into what they want and create a new type so they can see what's possible. But if they can't get there, I always say go to a therapist or a healer to heal these wounds too.
Well, I think you brought up something that I would like for you to go spend a little bit of time on, and we've probably got about 6 more minutes. Let's kind of guide our viewers just a little bit in taking some time to really think out who that next person is. You know, any tips you can give on that? A person right now watching this, and they're like, maybe they're not happy with the relationship. Number one, they have a couple of problems. How do I let this person go? And how do they release the fact that, okay, because we're dating, we got to keep dating? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we know it's over, they know it's over, but you keep dating and you keep having this unhealthy relationship. So that's one angle I want you to look at. And then we'll close off the show with maybe giving them some steps um, that they can come with next week, and we'll finish it. But I'd like for them to have some kind of guidance to where they can actually take a bubble bath and start thinking who this next person is.
The first part is what I talked about with the pattern chart. You need to get clear on who the heck you've been dating all this time.
So it starts with what you don't want.
No, it
Okay.
starts with warning signs and red flags because you're dating the same guy again in different clothes, different shoes, different hair. And until I had this recognition, I was still dating those wounded birds who, and you know, they were very strong men, but it was their
Mm-hmm.
emotional side that was wounded.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that was a natural attraction for me. So you have to get clear on that because if you don't have that clarity, you're just going to repeat it. So what I have women do is, well, it's a real specific way to do it, but just in general to do it,
Mm-hmm.
look at some traits that are common between all the men you've ever dated.
So
And
that's called a
those,
clue.
those are your warning
Yeah.
signs
Yeah,
or red
definitely.
flags
Yeah.
that you're, or, and also your behaviors that you have done over the years that are similar, like overgiving. I could see I was overgiving for love every single guy. This was after my second marriage ended that I did this, when I didn't think I would ever be in a relationship again because I couldn't find a coach. And and this came to me. All right, identify those warning signs and identify your old type. Then get
Okay. Now
then
we're
get
talking.
then get clear on things like deal breakers. We settle as women when we break our deal breakers. Like I had a client come to me and she said, I met the best guy, but he has a deal breaker. And I said, then you have to take it off your list or you're settling. So she goes, okay, I'll take it off my list. She took it off her list. 2 weeks later, she came back and she said, it's back on my list. I remember why it was a deal breaker.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's really important. Don't have more than 10 to 12 deal breakers. Because you can turn some of those deal breakers into qualities. A big one is height and weight. You don't have to have those as a deal breaker. You can have those as a quality, like a man is my height or 5 inches taller, or a man maybe 5 years older than me or 5 years younger than me. And I always think of, and then get into qualities. It's a wish list. Like I wanted a guy that would go cruise on cruises with me. That was really important. I loved it. And go out and try different places for meals and was like kind of like a foodie. That's wish list stuff. And then the next are the values that I've talked about. You've got to share core values. What are core values? How you live your life financially, how you live your life in integrity, how you live your life. Are you honest or do you lie or do you tell fibs, or you got to have values that match. How, that's really important. And then think about 3 things you can't live without in someone and 3 things you can't live with. Also important, how do I want to ultimately feel around this guy? Because when you said before, okay, what about the guy we stayed too long with? That is usually our abandonment issues when we've stayed too long and thinking we can fix them. But when you can go to this, I call it an emotional guidance system, how I want to feel around a guy. And when you feel that a lot of the time, when you're in a relationship, you're going to have ups and downs. Absolutely. But ultimately, how do you want to feel? And women will say, I want to feel cherished. I want to feel safe. I want to feel adored. And we do a whole meditation on this, but if you're sitting in a relationship where you constantly don't feel good about it, that's a big knock. Maybe you better look at this again and evaluate, does he have deal breakers? Or your values shared? What is it that's making you never feel good around him?
Wow, that's a good one. Yeah, it really does. And it's something that I think every lady that's watching this, that's 50 or up, even if you're watching this and you stumble across it and you're not nowhere near 50, what you just said is very important, because a lot of women, including myself, found themselves at one time or another doing the opposite of what they're supposed to do and keep attracting the same people. You want somebody that has money that can at least not take care of you necessarily, but at least you don't have to take care of them, but you still find yourself attracted to, for some reason or another, men that can't even take care of you if you needed them to.
Right.
Or vice versa. You finally found someone, ball player or whatever, that has all the money. So you attracted that part, but then he's bringing all the other negative stuff, how he treats you, making you feel insecure, gambling the fact that he's the one that has the money, So these are real serious issues that people deal with. And sometimes, sad to say, some of those situations really break us emotionally, and have us feeling the worst with us. And then coming back up, climbing from the bottom, because I've been there and I know a lot of the viewers have, is not easy. And that's why you got to keep watching. There's a coach for that TV, because Lisa Copeland is excellent for that. And stop the madness, stop that unnecessary pain by just letting go of old habits, right? Old habits.
I want to leave, since I know we're winding down, I want to leave this thought. And men fall in love with women for who they are. Women fall in love with men for their potential. And we start changing them from the
Yeah.
beginning. And
are we looking at them as a project or what? Because it seems like most women, I don't like the way he dressed. I am going to buy him some clothes, buy him
that's his
shirt.
potential. And when we're trying to change people, it sets us up for failure, and it sets us up to be disappointed because they're not changing. We think, if you loved me, you would change for me. And that's not fair to anyone. So I guess overall, the best thing to do is to find someone you love how they are, because people don't change unless they want to change. If you think of leopard spots, they don't change from the time, once they get those spots.
And most aren't even wanting to change. You're looking to change. You're
Nobody
thinking
wants to
change.
change.
Yeah.
Unless they're growing all the time, and then they'll change. But it's if you're seeing their potential and you think you can change them, you're doomed. It just doesn't work.
Wow. Well, Lisa, another great interview. I mean, this is so amazing. I'm so glad we're doing these series for so many women. I would tell each and every one of you, I wished I had a coach like her for real, because it took a lot of the years of my life when I could have been having a great relationship like I have now. Nothing's perfect, so don't get me wrong there, but I'm not having the issues. And I really do have to credit my sister Tracy for making me take that piece of paper and write it down, because that goes to where you were talking about having the clarity, and for me, I just didn't even try to think it out. If it came to my mind, I was dumping it. And I remember her saying, don't get too in your head, just dump what you're really tired of and fed up, and put on that other side what you really desire, in your relationship. And I was one of those storybook people, if I read a great romance book, that's what I wanted. I wanted it, Lisa.
Of course, the Hallmark movies are a perfect example of that. And it's always where the woman's pissed off with the guy and then they fall in love. Yeah.
Or watching Lifetime, which is the worst. Those movies on there. That'll really mess you up. We're going to come back next week with Lisa, and we're going to find out how Lisa can help you. How many of you would like that? Okay. And Lisa's going to share several case studies that she's going to come prepared to talk about, and really share with you where they were at and what they had to work on, what she had to work on with them to get them to their happiness, how they went from the pain of what they were dealing with in the dating world to how they stepped into their power and how they were able to really claim what they desire. Now, you guys got to know there's no perfect, 100% perfect marriage or dating or anything in life, right? There's no perfect job. There's always going to be something. But she'll tell you how she's able to help her clients have, I guess you could say, their own kind of like toolbox that they can lean on when she's not there, right, Lisa, where they can help, you can help them. Because, you got to have something, because she can't be around you 24/7. She's all that bag of chisels and M&Ms on the side. Yes. But she has a life too, but she's going to share all about her business. And we're looking for, there we go, part 2, episode 2. So you want to come join us right here on There's a Coach for That TV. I'm Raven Blair Glover, that lady right there by that blue fresh water. That's giving you some great tips today is our amazing coach that we are featuring. We're honoring because there's a coach like that for you. So,
and hey, if you want some of those tips before we get to next week.
Yes. And where can they go?
Great blogs on my website, FindAQualityMan.com. And again, that's FindAQualityMan.com. And you can go look over there so you can already start to hear my voice in your head saying, well, this is what you can do.
Yeah, there you go. And I love that name. Did you guys hear what she said? Not find a man, Find a what type of man? Quality man, right?
Quality.
Quality man. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And in
That you're
fact, as
worthy
we
of.
close out, what's your definition of a quality man?
A quality man is someone that shares your values and you feel good around most of the time. Makes you feel treasured. And you make him feel treasured too.
There you go. I always say when they make you smile, not just on the outside, but smile on the inside too. You know, that's not, it's easy to smile on the outside, but when you can have that smile shining in the inside, that's what made the difference for me. I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever felt like I was smiling, not just on the outside, not like a cover smile, but I was feeling that smile all the way through. So, yeah. All right, y'all. That's a wrap for this one. Lisa Copeland, tell them one more time where they can find you, girl.
They can find me on FindAQualityMan.com.
There you go. All right, I'm Raven Blair Glover. We will see you next time. And remember, your breakthrough in love and joy is right around the corner. Your great next connection. She's giving you some tips. You're going to get some more next week. And don't fret, because there's a coach for that, and you're looking at her right there. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
You've been watching There's a Coach for That TV. Join the talk show Maven next week with our special guest Lisa Copeland as she continues to discuss love after 50 and finding a quality man.
Ladies, can we talk about dating after 50? Because apparently some men think emotionally available means they own a phone. You go on a date, he talks about his ex for 45 minutes.
She threw away my prized golf clubs. She really broke my heart. But if you change, you let them win, right?
Sir, I am not your therapist.
Or my favorite.
I'm very passionate about my career. I'm not really looking for anything serious.
Then why are you here, Bob? This isn't Costco. You can't just sample women. And let's be honest, you're not desperate, you're not too picky, and you are definitely not invisible.
You just don't want to waste time anymore. You want a kind man, a grown-up man, a quality man.
I'm Lisa Copeland. If you're ready to stop dating projects and start dating partners, visit FindAQualityMan.com. Because Bob is not the prize. You are.
Lisa, I'm so glad I worked with you. Your program helped me focus, become more confident, and get my Quality Man template done so I could actually identify my guy, and I found him. Your support through dating and now being in a relationship has been incredible. Seriously, your program is a great investment. You are a godsend to us older women.
It's official. Steve and I now have a home together. You really can find love in your 60s. I did, with an amazing man who loves, adores, and cherishes me. Biggest thanks to Lisa Copeland for her incredible guidance. Her program changed my life.
There's a Coach for That TV.